When we experience a pinch at the front part of the hip, whether we are just lifting the leg off of the ground into hip flexion, bending to pick something up, getting into a squat, and whether this is on one side or both sides, I'm going to explain the reason why we experience that pinch in the front part of the hip, but also a progression model from fascia decompression to corrective exercises so we can bring our body back into balance and start getting rid of that annoying pinch sensation at the front part of the hip. When we bring our hip into hip flexion, especially when we get into about that 90-degree range, that's generally where we start to feel and when we start to feel that pinch in the front part of the hip. And the reason why is because this is where we demand more internal rotation in the hip joint. However, a very common thing that we see is when our pelvis is tipped forwards like this is already a strategy to access more internal rotation because we have a lack of genuine internal rotation at the hip joint. So as soon as we do this, we're already starting to take up hip internal rotation space. Now, when we start to bring the hip into more hip flexion, now we're just losing that space and causing that pinching sensation in the front part of the hip. So what we need to do is first off, open up the back part of the pelvis to allow our back part of the hip socket to open up so that we can move into internal rotation. So we're moving into internal rotation, but this needs to open up. So I'm going to show you a fascia decompression technique to open up that space. But then we want to be able to teach the pelvis how to come and sit more neutral in this alignment so that we can now access genuine internal and external rotation space. And then I'll be showing you another exercise for stability and help to training this with a little bit more load. For the fascia decompression technique, we're going to be focusing on opening up the back part of the pelvis so that we can allow the posterior hip capsule to glide posteriorly, which is going to allow internal rotation of the hip. So whether you are wanting to do this on both hips or just one, if it's just one side that's bothering you, work on that more painful side. All you're going to need is a tightly rolled up towel or a block from Block Therapy. You're going to feel your sit bone. We're going to have the block or the towel positioned directly above. To get into this, let's lay flat on our back and let's lift the pelvis up and let's locate and find that area. There's going to be a good amount of tension and compression in this area that we want to first off release so then we can start to own that space. So now that I'm here, let's bend that right leg to the side and let's start by straightening that left leg, the side we're working on. And let's start by breathing through the diaphragm. Let's connect to our breath because whenever we do fascia decompression, we don't want to be in a sympathetic state. We want to be really relaxed. So our tissue is actually giving permission to release and change so that we can then open up the space. Once you've settled in a little bit, we're very slowly going to create some intentional hip flexion, so hip bend here. And all I'm doing is while keeping these low ribs down, I don't want to extend my back too much. I'm going to keep those low ribs down and still breathing through my diaphragm, in and out through my nose. I'm just very slowly doing this action here, creating more hip flexion. Already here, where I'm not even that deep into hip flexion, I can feel the posterior hip capsule wanting to move back and open up. There's more tension, there's a little bit more pain here. So I'm gonna stay here and I might search towards the outside. I'm feeling a good amount of pain here, so I might hang out there for 30 seconds, a minute, if not longer. And then I'm going to be coming back. Once I've released this area and I feel that I want to get a little bit deeper, then you can come into more hip flexion. But I really want to advise that you're not just doing this. This is just completely moving past the point of what we're trying to do. We need to work deep, release these adhesions and this tension to actually allow the posterior hip capsule to open up. So once you spent in total about 3 to 5 minutes minimum, you can nice and slow bring both feet on the floor. If you're wanting to work the other side, exhale up, slide on over to the other side, and then perform that exact same sequence. Next, we're gonna move into a corrective exercise to help position the pelvis into more of a neutral alignment. All you'll need is a chair or a bench to position your heels on. And let's make sure that we're not getting too close, because we don't wanna get into too much hip flexion quite yet, especially if we're feeling that pinch. So you can get into about 60 degrees of hip flexion, even less if you need to. Now, I am going to have my feet a little bit closer together, and I'm gonna start with my knees out like this. This is gonna take a little bit of pressure off because I'm not creating that internal rotation quite yet. Now, the big thing we wanna do here is exhale fully. Feel those low ribs coming down. As those side abs engage with the full exhalation, hold that in place. We don't want to be extending the spine like this, because this can tip the pelvis forwards. We want to exhale, bring the ribs down. You're going to start feeling your pelvis coming backwards as well. Now, very gently, you're going to be pulling with your heels into the chair. This is going to activate your hamstrings. And as we're doing this, I want you to lift the pelvis just a little bit off the floor. It can be a centimeter, an inch or so. And if you can't do that, just at least apply the pressure and have that intention. Let's keep those ribs down, keep breathing through that rib cage. So now, if this is our starting point, what we're gonna do to progress this is, as we are keeping the pelvis off of the ground and it's in that posterior pelvic tilt, I want us to just move the knees very slowly into internal rotation. Don't bring them all the way together, just so that they're in alignment with the hips. And then we're gonna be dropping them out like this. And this is gonna help open up the hip joint and get the hips used to moving in more of a neutral to posterior pelvic alignment. So you're gonna be holding this for 8 to 10 breaths, and you're gonna be doing about 2 to 3 sets. Once you've completed that exercise, then we're gonna move on to the next one. Next, we're gonna get into a standing position, and we're gonna start challenging a little bit more of hip flexion while also creating some rotation. Now, all we're gonna be doing is, let's say we're wanting to work on that left side. I'm gonna get into about a kickstand hinge like this. So majority of my weight is on my stance leg, my left leg in this scenario. Then we're going to bring our arms out to the side and then just hinge slightly forwards. As we're doing this, make sure that you're not just rounding your back to avoid getting into more hip flexion, and make sure that you're really bringing those hips back. Whenever we are hinging, we want to focus on bringing the hip back, and that's opening up the posterior hip capsule because we're creating more internal rotation demands. Now, let's just get to maybe 20 degrees, 30 degrees. We don't have to get too far down. And now I want you to open up nice and slow to the right while keeping that weight on the left leg, and don't lose foot contacts of the tripod, the heel, the ball of the big toe, and the fifth metatarsal head. We don't want to be collapsing the foot in or inverting the foot or doing anything funky there. So then I'm going to open up, come back to neutral, and then I'm going to turn on over to the left. This is creating now more internal rotation as I turn towards that stance leg. And then I'll come back to neutral. If I need to reset, I will. I'm kicking the pelvis back, and then we're going to open up to the right, come back to neutral. You should feel your foot working here as well, which is great. Now we're creating some communication between the foot and the hip, and then to the left, and then back to neutral. As you start progressing and you feel like this is getting easier, you can get a little bit deeper now into hip flexion. Another alternative, which is definitely more challenging, is you're going to just balance on that one leg and make sure that as we start here, we're in a neutral pelvis, and then we start coming forwards like this, and then we can create that, we'll call this an airplane motion. And this is going to challenge a lot more stability within the foot and within the hip. So now we're getting a lot of these muscles to fire up and start to actually protect the hip. Now to add a little bit of load, all you need is a kettlebell, some sort of weight, and then I like having this on a platform so we don't have to get all the way down to start. We just want to work in the space we currently have available. And we're going to be doing the same thing with the kickstand hinge here, but we're not going to be rotating. All we're going to do is find that neutral pelvis, bring those hips back, back, back. I have a contralateral load here, so my left leg's forward, but the weight's in my right hand, and I'm pushing that hip back. This is gonna create more internal rotation demands, but I'm not getting all the way down. That's why I have this platform and a kettlebell. Then I'm pushing through the arch of my foot, connecting the glute, and coming back up to neutral like this. So we want to perform about 8 to 10 repetitions, just working in that space we have available. When we get to the top part of this hinge, we should be feeling the pelvis tipping back posteriorly so that our glutes are really activated. For the routine to follow, we start off with the fascia decompression for 3 to 5 minutes in the glute position. Then we moved into the pelvic correction exercise on our back with the chair. You're going to be holding that for 8 to 10 breaths and do 2 to 3 sets. And then we started focusing on hinging with a little bit of rotation, doing those airplanes. So you can hold that for 8 to 10 breaths or 8 to 10 rotations left to right, and then do 2 to 3 sets. Alternatively, if you want to progress directly into adding some load, such as using the kettlebell with the hinge, then you can jump right to that exercise. Make sure you're doing about 8 to 10 repetitions, 2 to 3 sets. This might take a little bit of time for that pinching to go away. Some people might find that there's relief almost immediately, if not right after you perform this routine. So let me know in the comments below if this helped you out. We'll see you in the next video.